Encounters with Encantados. Okay, you're traveling to a world that is full of water. In the Amazon, the wet season lasts half of the year. During the rainiest part of the wet season, from March through May, it rains every day. Not all day, but every day. Sometimes the rain lasts less than an hour. And then the bright hot sun comes out to burn your skin. But every day there is some kind of downpour. Okay, a downpour is like a really, really big rain. Okay, the wet season is the best time of year to explore the Amazon. You'll soon see why. So bring a poncho. A poncho is it's kind of like a blanket that they put on their body. Okay, Mexicans will wear a poncho on your expedition. You will watch the rain remake this jungle world, swollen with rainwater. The Amazon River and its many branches, small rivers called tributaries, overflow their dry season banks. So all the water comes out because there are so much rain, right? There's so much rain. The river flood people's gardens, water covers the village soccer fields, the school playgrounds are underwater. Instead of taking a school bus to class, the kids take a canoe, right? So it's a little boat. Hey, that's a canoe over here. The village school is like a tree house, perched right on stilts, right? Many of the village houses are built on stilts too. So basically, they would have a house, okay, and there will be some um, there will be a part, right? Um, it's like kind of like a chair, right? So the house is kind of like built on top of a chair, like a wooden chair, right? So they will have some wooden columns right under the houses, okay? So many of the village houses are built on stilts too. Other floats on the river like rafts. People have to tie their floating houses to big trees so they don't drift away. On our expedition is like an adventure, right? Like a journey. You'll sleep in a jungle lodge on stilts. You'll visit Amazon villages where little girls play with real baby caimans, a kind of crocodile, okay? The way girls at home play with dolls, and where the people will tell you stories about amazing creatures they call encantados. Okay, encantado means the same thing in Portuguese, the language most people speak in Brazil, and in Spanish, which people speak in Peru and many other South American countries. It means enchanted. And once you meet an encantado on the river, you'll know why. Enchanted is like it's got magic. Okay. Everything about them sounds impossible. Pink dolphins, dolphins who live in rivers, not in the ocean, and not just any river. These are rainforest dolphins who swim in a submerged jungle. Okay, so a jungle on the water. Okay, and look how they do it. Unlike the athletic dolphins who jump through hoops for aquarium shows, pink dolphins don't leap out of the water. Watch, they swim slowly low in the water. They don't look like regular dolphins either. Unlike the ones who swim in the sea, the pink dolphins doesn't have a tall, pointed fin on the back, the sticking out of the water like a shark's. Pink dolphins just have a low ridge, which makes them difficult to spot. Okay. Beside making sounds from their mouth, dolphins, as well as many whales, can also send out pulses. Okay, pulses are like sound waves, okay, um, of sound. So like a pulse is like um, a periodic interval. How do I say this? Okay, so like a sound wave, okay, 音波这样子, okay, like an invisible beam of light from inside their foreheads. The sound beams are too high pitched for our ears. Listening with the help of special underwater microphones and recording devices, scientists have learned that these sounds are a series of pulsed clicks. The clicks travel through the water when they hit an object, a tree branch, a tasty fish, or even a swimming person. The sound comes bouncing back to the dolphin. That's right, it's an echo. Dolphins can locate objects by their echoes. That's why this sense is called echolocation. It's also sometimes called sonar, which ships and submarines use to probe the water too. Okay, submarines are like 潜水艇. Okay, in fact, the echoes form a three-dimensional image in the dolphin's brain, allowing the animal to see not only the object's shape and size, but also its inside. So, because echoes can go inside your body, right? If the sound right hits something that's soft, it will go through it, right? So it's like it can only see things hard, okay? So um, the dolphins can sometimes see inside your body or inside something that is soft, okay? Uh, in addition to this super sonar, pink dolphins have another special talent. Ocean dolphins' body don't bend very well. They never be able to get around all the branches in the Amazon. Pink dolphins can bend their bodies to twist gracefully through the underwater treetops. They are so flexible they can even touch their tails to their nose. Can you touch your nose to your feet? Like a dolphin donut, right? So it will be like in a circle. Because of their unique flexibility, pink dolphins can also swim in shallow waters that ocean dolphins can manage. Sometimes they get stuck, but not for long. You probably have already noticed that pink dolphins have really big front flippers, almost like wings. Where am I? Okay, at moments like these, those flippers come in handy. Pink dolphins can use their front flippers not just to swim, but also to crawl, both out of and back into the water. So they can sometimes use their flippers like hands to crawl out of the water, right? Sometimes pink dolphins' behavior seem downright weird. Here's another example. Sometimes they sleep upside down. Imagine finding a 300-pound dolphin floating upside down like a dead goldfish. Why do they do this? Why don't other dolphins? No one knows. And that's just one of the mysteries about them. Nightmare Dream World. Canoeing through the flooded forest feels like a dream. Strange lives cling to every tree. Fist-sized hairy megalomorph spiders who look like tarantulas hunt for bugs in tree holes. The purse-like nest of little birds called oropendulas hang from the tips of branches. Centipedes are like 毛毛虫，OK crawl in the cracks，像毛毛虫之类的东西哈。Not caterpillars, but like 蜈蚣哈，像蜈蚣，crawl in the cracks of barks. Snails cling to the underside of leaves. Duck, Moises Chavez, okay. Your Peruvian guy calls out from the front of the boat. Duck, where? But no, he motions you to get your head down, so you have to duck, not like a quack quack. Okay. You don't want to smack your head on a low branch as the canoe glides beneath it. Particularly this branch, because hanging down from it is a wasp nest the size of a pumpkin. Okay, so it's like a beehive. Okay. 就是蜜蜂窝哦，不同的蜜蜂，好像胡蜂哈，还是虎头蜂。Okay. Fortunately, Moises knows these waterways well. He can warn you of the dangers. He grew up in Amazon forest. His father was a teacher working in Amazonian Indian villages. Moises, Moises, Moises. I actually don't know how to pronounce his name. It's Portuguese. Speaks some of the Indian languages as well as Spanish and English. He has learned many of the jungle secrets, including where to find the pink dolphins. Today, he's taking you to his favorite lake where he knows you'll see pink dolphins. But to get there, you have to thread through the twisting waterways, the heart of the in the heart of the Amazon forest. Trees poke out of the water on all sides. Moasis explains that it's important to keep your hands away from the side of the boat. It's easy to see why. Some of the trees have spines growing out of their trunks. Okay, 有刺哈. They're sharp as needles. He says, "Don't touch the trees. See this guy?" He points to a tree with smooth bark. This guy has a sap that can burn your skin. Okay, so it's like, like poison. Okay, and this guy, he says, pointing to a short tree with yellow flowers from its leaves, you can make a tea to cure yellow fever. And this guy, let's go to the next one. Bang, your canoe has come to an abrupt halt. The bottom is hung up on an underwater tree limb. Your canoe is stuck in the treetops, but Moasis quickly gets the situation under control by pushing against the tree to free the canoe. You're over the log, but you're not out of trouble. Watch out, called Moises. Tarantula tree. Moises recognized the tree's long oval leaves right away, and he also knows that its hollow stem teem with thousands of stinging black tarantula ants. Each ant is more than 1 inch long. When something bumps against the tree, the ants think it's an attack on their home. Bravely, they'll rush to defend it. They'll even jump off the branches into your canoe to sting you if they think their tree is threatened. At the last minute, with some skilled paddling, Moasis veers the canoe away from its dangerous path. You miss the entry by inches. And then, pushing aside some branches like a curtain on a stage, Moasis reveals your destination, the Dolphin Lake. You've made it. During the dry season, the lake is little more than a puddle. Okay, but now full of rainwater, it covers an area larger than 1,000 football fields. It's shaped like a figure eight, and the crown of a mimosa tree poking up the middle. Across the lake, you can hear a dolphin blowing. Cha! You're surrounded. At first, it seemed that you would see the dolphins only far away, just a pink shimmer on the water's surface. At first glance, you weren't sure whether you really saw one or just imagined it, but Moasis had a great idea. "Let's call them," he suggested. He leaned over the side of the canoe and, reaching underwater, banged on the side of the boat with his knuckles. The dolphins responded, and now they are all around you. Right behind your canoe, you hear one blow. You twirl around, but all you see is the dolphin's wake. The, the wave it make when it dives just a split second ago. Then, cha, cha, right? A dolphin surfaced in front. "Look," cried Moasis. But you see only a trail of bubbles. Splash, off to your left, sorry. A big pink form has surfaced, but by the time you turn, you see only a trail. If the water were clear, as in an aquarium tank, you could see them swimming beneath the surface, but the water in the lake is dark as night. It's not polluted. It's stained with natural chemicals from decaying rainforest leaves. Because of the dark water, it's impossible to count the dolphins. It certainly seems that there are several. After all, one surfaced in back of the boat, then one in front of the boat. Another rose to the side. Does that mean there were 3 dolphins? Maybe not. Remember that the pink dolphins, with their bendy bodies, don't have to swim in a straight line. You can't predict where they might surface next. You can turn and twist beneath the water. Oh, sorry, they can turn and twist beneath the water, even whirl around like a Ferris wheel. Maybe the 3 glimpses you had were all of the same dolphin. How would you tell? Most animals, including dolphins, look as different from one another as people do. You just have to learn to see the differences. Some are bigger than the others, some are darker. One might have a notch or a scar on the back of their head. One might have a bent snout. Snout is like the nose, okay? But here's the problem, because pink dolphins don't leap out of the water, and because the lake water is so dark, you never see much of any individual dolphin at one time. You get only little glimpses. The glistening pink top of a head here, a tail there, a quick look at the low fin on the back here, and you can identify them by color because these dolphins grew grow pinker with exercise, just as people do. Okay. For half an hour, the dolphins, whether one or several, continue to visit near your canoe. Could they be as curious about you as you are about them? As you and Moises paddle back to the lodge for dinner, you're full of questions about the dolphins. How many of them visit the lake? Do they stay there all year, or do they move to other lakes and rivers? Are there mothers with babies among them? What kinds of fish do they like to eat? Moises knows a lot about the wildlife in Amazon, but even he doesn't know the answers to your questions. The uh, Bufeo, they are very mysterious, he says. All right.